Now, back to Sunrise on News Radio 880 KCMX.
Good morning, everybody. 35 minutes after the hour. Welcome back to the Sunrise Show. Great. Wonderful guest. Love to have her on. She's been on before. Dr. Ginger, her website, drginger.com, or you can get to her fatfuneraldetox.com, however it is. And Ginger is just tearing it up when it comes to the world of eating healthy. She's done it all just about. I mean, she's been the spa director for the Trump Spa at Mar-a-Lago there in Florida, in Palm Beach, Florida. She's hiked McKinley and Denali in Alaska. In what year was that?
That was 2001.
Oh, my gosh. Ago. Yeah, she wrote books. Of course, the New York Times bestseller, Crazy Sexy Cancer Survivor, and of course, finished up as Mrs. Virginia. What was that, 2013?
2013. I contributed to the New York Times book. My book comes out in March. I didn't write that book. I just contributed a couple chapters.
Exactly right. One of the chapters on that. And then your book comes out in March. And what are you calling it?
It's called The Rainbow Juice Cleanse. And it's all about, I kind of knock the myths about juicing and teach people how to do it properly. Because so many juicing gurus out there are getting people to juice too much fruit. And, you know, fruit has a lot of fructose in it. And if you combine that with kind of the regular diet, then you're really setting yourself up for weight gain and basically gaining fat. And so you need to, I always say, eat your fruit, juice your veggies.
That's right. I was just going to say.
Every recipe in the book that's a juice recipe is made from vegetables and herbs and amazing flavors. And then there's a whole bunch of other food recipes as well.
Exactly. So your latest thing, just to help folks with this fat funeral detox, is your 7-day video series that's free on your website. You just got to get logged in. Tell our listeners about that, because I'm on day 2 right now.
I know. I'm so excited you signed up for it. So if you go to drginger.com, I have a 7-day fat funeral detox boot camp. It's totally free, and it's online. And what happens is you just put your name and email in, and every day for 7 days you get an email sent to me that has a video in it. And I'm talking for about 2 minutes. I talk about a certain topic for that day, and at the end of the day, I give you a challenge. And by the end of the day, you'll cover, a variety of topics. And it just kind of gives you a taste of what I do. But by the end of the week, you will have some good information. You will have, if you apply it, you'll be making some positive changes. And that's kind of how I teach. Small baby steps can create these cumulative effects in your health. And, of course, knowledge is power, but only when you use it. And so I give you some knowledge, and then I give you the power to start using it by giving you a challenge. So if you go to drginger.com, you can sign up for it for free. And I'm so excited for you because tomorrow for you, you're on day 2 now. Tomorrow is day 3. And tomorrow you get what I put together called the Vitamin Robbers Report.
This would be amazing. I mean, obviously it's amazing up until now. And this is the one thing, Dr. Ginger, that people are kind of talking about it. The medical industry is kind of talking about it, but how bad obesity is for America and for people, and it's driving everything else. I mean, obesity is driving the issues that we might all have, along with diabetes, which is it affects all of our organs, and of course obesity affects everything else. Look at this figure you put on your video. 12.5 million, approximately 12.5 million of children and adolescents age 2 through age 19 are obese. That comes from the Center for Disease Control. Everything is coming off of this, and it's just amazing. But you're right, day 3, the Vitamin Robbers Report. Tell us about that. So in relation
to that, all this obesity is creating these, triggering all of these diseases to start these epidemics, and then in turn, medicine is being prescribed, and whether it's prescription or over-the-counter, something you need to realize that I didn't realize, that people didn't realize, and so I put this together, is that every drug that you take, whether it's an aspirin a day, an antacid, antibiotics, oral contraceptives, diabetic medications, all sorts of prescription medications from cholesterol medication and onward, every single one of them is depleting your body of nutrients. And long term, what happens is you can start to get side effects from that nutrient depletion. So on day 3 of the boot camp, I do a video on this, and I give you a free downloadable 10-page report of 15 categories of drugs, both prescription and over-the-counter. And I list the nutrients that are depleted from that drug, as well as the potential symptoms that you could experience. Now, one of the problems is, you start experiencing some of these symptoms because you're taking drug A, and you go into your doctor, and your doctor's not making the connection with the nutrient loss causing the symptoms, and they prescribe you another drug for the symptoms. So it's a never-ending cycle. So I really want to create this awareness with people that no matter what you take, whether it's prescription or over-the-counter, you need to understand what it's doing to your body. And at the very least, start replacing those with good, clean, whole food, non-GMO supplements, as well as really good, clean eating. And that's what I teach in the full fat renal detox program.
It's awesome. And Ginger, we've got a break coming up, but I want to get to that. And I want to talk about that when we come back, because even aspirin, Tylenol, all that, it depletes. And of course, that whole B12 complex stuff. I mean, that's, you get into, no matter, we have a problem with bones and everything else. So, all right, let's come right back to that. We've got Dr. Ginger on the program this morning. Get to our website, drginger.com, and a free 7-day video series on fat funeral detox. Unbelievable. We'll be right back. More on the Sunrise Show after this. News Radio 880 KCMX.
Now, back to Sunrise on News Radio 880 KCMX.
Shout, 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 I'm talking to you, so come on. Shout.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. 45 minutes after the hour. If you're just joining us, we're continuing with Dr. Ginger and her Fat Funeral Detox. Her website, drginger.com, and she's got a book coming out in March called The Rainbow Juice Cleanse, and she's just done so much great stuff, and very excited about your book, Dr. Ginger. And this video series, it's free to anybody who wants to get signed up. No fine print, no whatever, just sign up.
No obligation. You just get 7 days of, emails with 2-minute videos and a challenge, and, I'm pretty sure most people are going to learn something new at least a couple days, if not all of the days. But day 3, like we were talking about before, is the Vitamin Robbers Report.
Gosh.
And I'm excited for you to get that tomorrow, because I think it will be really eye-opening. And it may not be something, that necessarily applies to you. You might not be taking any of the drugs listed, but I guarantee you know someone, a loved one, a friend, a family member that is.
Now, what's going to happen? I mean, if I watch this day 3 and I want to show a friend of mine, he's going to have to log on his own, right? It's going to.
Well, no, you can download it and then you can email it.
Okay. Oh, great.
Yeah, you can download it. It's a downloadable 10-page report, and there are many other drugs out there that deplete nutrients. I just, didn't want to make it a 100-page report, so I kind of picked some categories of some common drugs that people take, both prescription and over-the-counter, so that you could get an idea of kind of where I was going with it.
Well, it's so interesting. Mental illness is this kind of, I don't know, it's like foaming water. It kind of just comes out of everywhere. We're into our society, mental illness, depression, people not feeling, very well about themselves. And so you wonder, okay, there's got to be, eating bad foods or not eating the right foods or not having the right nutrients. They're exhausted, they're tired, they feel bad about themselves, and they go up with coffee and down, crash with the sugar. We're just like abusing ourselves, aren't we?
Absolutely. And a lot of the depression and, lethargicness and just kind of feeling bad about themselves just all the way around relates to nutrient depletion and eating poor and eating sugars and things that, react on our brain. Sugar reacts on our brain just like cocaine does. It highlights the same areas of the brain as cocaine and creates these highs and these deep lows. And so getting control of your nutrients from a cellular level, and getting rid of these toxic foods that we all know we need to start doing. This is a great start to the new year to do the 7-day boot camp, learn a little something, get a jump start, get some great information on what some of these drugs may be doing as far as nutrient depletion, and start replacing those nutrients and eating cleaner, eating the way nature, meant for us to eat, God meant for us to eat, however you want to look at it, not man-made food.
Well, and here's the next thing, and you and I talked about this before, is when you start eating real foods, non-processed foods, and getting away, all of a sudden your palate changes. You start tasting things.
Yes. When you start getting off of coffee and sodas and high sugar foods and high MSG and chemical foods and artificial sweeteners, when you get that out of your system, so to speak, and then you can really appreciate the taste of real food. Some people say, oh, I don't like vegetables, or I don't like, this, that, and the other, kind of real food. Well, it's probably because, your taste buds are so tainted, and it's really neat to see when people go through the full fat renal detox program. I have them write a before testimony and then an after testimony. And the after testimonies are always amazing to see because they say, I actually crave healthy food. I actually like it, because they stopped eating the things that were tainting their taste buds, so to speak.
Interesting that, everybody has a vice. They all have that weakness, and it's that quote-unquote drug of choice. And if it's food or chocolate or salt or sweet or whatever.
Caffeine.
Yeah, exactly right. And so one of the certified nutritional therapists was telling me, Craig, what you don't do is just go cold turkey, but you eat the healthy foods up front, and you fill up more on that, and you kind of wean yourself.
Yeah, you crowd out the bad stuff by adding in the new stuff. When I do my program, I talk about maybe 100 different things that you could do, and I tell people just start slowly, baby steps. Take a few things that you're ready to start changing. Or I teach like a worst, better, best. I give you a food, and I give you the worst version of that, the better version, and the best version. And I tell people, if you're in the worst category, at least go to the better category. But if you're facing a serious health challenge, you probably need to hightail it to the best category in most of your food choices to give your immune system and your body the best available nutrients that it could possibly have. So yes, it's kind of like you crowd out the bad stuff with the good stuff. But again, it comes back to the mind and being empowered and being educated. You can be told all day long you need to eat your fruits and vegetables, and that doesn't do anything. But when you start educating and giving reasons why and showing examples of ingredients and what they do to you with the processed foods, that jumpstarts people and gets them thinking and wanting to make more because they realize the power's in their hands. Disease, I believe that every disease is reversible if you give your body the right tools. And so I try to teach those tools.
Exactly. Well, this day 3 is going to be great. Now, we also had, and you mentioned this, kind of a disclaimer, don't change any medication without first talking to your doctor.
No, this is not meant to have you say, oh, I'm going to get off this medication. What it's meant to do is to get you to understand the nutrients that the medication is depleting in your body so you can, the first step is to replace those with a good non-GMO whole food supplement and good food. Then as you're doing that and as you're learning more about foods, good foods and bad foods, and you're starting to apply these to your life, then what happens is your body starts to balance, and the next time you go to your doctor or get your blood work or get some test done and there's an improvement, then your doctor will say, well, your blood pressure is actually really low now, so we need to get you off this medication because whatever you're doing on your own is helping. And so it's kind of a means to a good end, but you certainly do not want to ever stop taking anything, whether it's prescription or over-the-counter that your doctor has you on, unless you're working with your doctor, because if you just go cold turkey on many things, there's kind of rebound effects and you can have other problems. So I want to definitely make that disclaimer, and that disclaimer is on the bottom of every page of the Vitamin Roberts report as well.
Very good, very good. Well, Dr. Ginger, we've got just a little bit of time, but I tell you can find Dr. Ginger either on the website, drginger.com, that's drginger.com, or the Fat Funeral Detox. They both go to the same page, and you'll be amazed. You got a 7-day free boot camp, a video series. You can pick up on that, and then it automatically notifies you via email or however. And then, of course, on Twitter and Facebook, at the Dr. Ginger. Go there, and then eat your fruit, eat your fruit, juice your veggies. And I love what I wrote this down on the vegetables, that first digit, a 4, a 9, or an 8. Right?
Yeah.
The 4 means sprayed, the 9 means organic, and the 8 means GMO. And that's at the very beginning of that little tag, right? The first digit?
Yeah, the little sticker that they put on the produce. It's called a PLU sticker. And the only thing you really need to remember is the number 9, because the number 9 means organic, means it hasn't been sprayed. If it's an 8, it's genetically modified, and you really don't see that often because they really don't want to show you that one.
Right.
If it's a 4 or even a 3, that just means traditionally raised, sprayed with chemicals. So if you don't want to remember all the numbers, the number you want to remember is the number 9. That's what you want to look for. That's the least toxic produce.
Excellent. All right, good deal. Well,
And
Ginger,
both nutrients, too.
it's always a treat to have you on. I want to have you back on when your book launches.
Absolutely.
when-
I would love to, anytime.
That would be great. In fact, maybe we could give away a couple signed copies
Yeah.
or something like that. Wouldn't that be a
absolutely.
blast?
Let's do it.
Okay, we'll get hooked back up on that. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Ginger, do yourself a favor. Get to her website, drginger.com, and this is a free deal. No fine print to deal with. It's fun, it's easy, and I'm on day 2, and I'm loving it. And I don't have to do anything fantastic.
That's
I'm just
great.
like,
Thank you, Craig.
all
Thank you,
right.
everyone.
All right, we'll be back. More on the Sunrise Show after this. The Bloomberg Market Update is next.